And now, on with the show. And now, on with the show. And now, on with the show.
Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you? Really good one. Vigilantes are not heroes. Yeah. Daredevil, Born Again, only on Disney Plus.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Superlair. We are here for Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 3. Let's bring in my brother, JG Shaolin. Terrific. How you doing today, man?
Oh, man, how are you doing? I am doing okay. I'm just nervous about sitting through this next episode.
Oh, man. So, as the scrolling caption reads, it's been a week since we've sat through Daredevil Born Again Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2, and I wanted to ask you, it's been a week, right? Time has passed. Have you rewatched the episodes? What do you think? Have they gotten better? Have they gotten worse? Where are you currently at with the show going into this Episode 3?
So I did attempt to watch it again. It was right after we did the roundtable discussion on Bigfoot Entertainment, hoping someone would sway my opinion, and it was a no-go. I did try to watch it again, and I got a good nap afterwards. Look, if you got trouble putting the kids to sleep, play that show, they will fall asleep immediately. It's almost night and day compared to the Netflix show. And I'm hopeful because I do love Daredevil as a character. But as of right now, no, my opinion has not changed. It is. I'm not gonna say it's trash,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. It's trash. So far, it's trash. I know Mike. If he's in the chat, he's probably wanted me Phantom Zone for the rest of my life after saying that. But yes, it is trash.
There is no world in which I should not be loving a new Daredevil show, especially with the Marvel Studios, budget and backing. There's no, I, it seriously bothered me for a few days after we did the stream. Like, I just felt like I was watching a completely different show, and I hated not being a part of like the excitement and the hype. It feels wrong. And so I rewatched the first 2 episodes with my brother, who's also a Netflix Daredevil guy. And he had the same opinion as me. It's not bad. It's not that good. It just was poorly executed, weakly executed. There are good ideas and concepts, but right now it's just not delivering. They have not done the work. They've introduced replacements that are not fleshed out. Currently, there are storylines that are just not as compelling. It's just, it's to me, it's still reeking of trying to salvage the old footage that didn't work and trying to stitch it with the new footage. I rewatched the episodes. I felt the same way. I'm more at peace with what we've watched. But I'm hopeful, like you said. I want to love this. I want this show to be great, but right now it's not. Going into this episode 3 in just a couple minutes, it was revealed just today that episodes 2 and 3 were the initial first 2 episodes of the old iteration before they reworked it and did the overhaul. So I want to be excited for this 3rd episode. I want to, I want to love it, but right now I'm just like, I'm fearful that we're gonna repeat episode 2 with this one, and we're gonna get another meandering, diluted, not as compelling as it should be sort of episode. And viewership numbers came in. They came in lower than Agatha. They came in lower than the Acolyte. That's not good, bro. Like, people are like putting a positive spin on it. Maybe week to week the viewership can increase. Lower than Agatha? You should be embarrassed. That's for a reason. You can enjoy the show. I'm happy you're enjoying the show. Ask yourself why. Why is the viewership not where it should be? I'm not even going to answer it. I'm going to let you figure that out on your own. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Again, I want to love the show. The fact that this episode 3, like episode 2, is a remnant of the old iteration. This is purely old footage that they're trying to make work. Oh man, I don't know, but I want to be there. I want to be there with everyone else, but we're going to see. I've heard some things about this episode, what it might try to do, the end of the season, where supposedly it's supposed to pick up when Daredevil's supposed to be back in costume. I've heard a lot. But I think the best thing that we can do right now is sort of face fears and enter this 3rd episode, my man. Is there anything in episode 3 that you wanting to see, wanting to improve? Is there anything?
Oh man, entertainment. I want to be entertained, right? I don't care if it's a duck flapping around with a harmonica in his mouth. I just need something to entertain me, right? I may be the only one that liked the episode 2 better than episode 1. But oh man, I don't know, man. I know.
I don't know.
I don't. If anything, it's great to fellowship, watch the show with your homies, and just talk. If anything, and have a good laugh. maybe we have a good laugh at this one like we did last week. So let's
it
laugh
was
about it.
it was definitely needed. Like, it's just so bizarre that, after we finished that stream, I was not dying for episode 3. I was like, man, I can't wait to get back into. I was like, oh, it's Tuesday. That's Daredevil, right? Like, that's just bizarre. That should not be happening.
Exactly. Like, the first 2 seasons of Loki, I held my pee because I didn't want to miss anything. Even though I can always go back and replay it, I want to be right there when it's going on live, right? Same thing with Penguin, of course, we know that's just upper echelon, just top notch.
Cinema.
This, I think it was Brian Grizzly on when we did the roundtable, where he said this is episode 2 is basically Law and Order. I'm like, you know what? He is right. Like, there was basically Law and Order, but in a bad sense. So dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This hope for the best. I know it's gonna be the worst, but I'm just gonna hope.
At least be better than episode 2. And you enjoyed episode 2 more than episode 1. So
Whoa! I would say this: I did not enjoy it.
Okay, all right. I'll be
I
careful.
did enjoy it.
You tolerated it more.
I tolerated it more because of
Okay.
BB. That is it.
Okay, all right.
You take BB out, I can care less about it.
I'm glad you put me in my place. I apologize. I've offended you. I apologize. But with that being said, man, Google Meet in the private chat. We're about to start this thing in 46 minutes. So, if the episode's not as great as it should be, we won't have to, be in it for too long. But yeah, man, we're gonna see. Thank you for everyone for popping in the chat. I appreciate you all. Liam, Movie King, Anthony, Darkness. Interested to see what you guys think after the episode. And with that being said, man, let's do this. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
We'll just watch the recap. I'm already started the stopwatch, so. I do gotta appreciate the Puerto Rican representation. I give 'em props.
It's nice. It's nice. I mean, it'd be nice to have some Cubans in there as well, but it's nice. I love the way he spoke about, Puerto Rico and the great things about it, and just man, he's so phenomenal. I wish he was still here, but
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. He's the first Puerto Rican superhero in a mainstream comic book project. It's a shame.
I love this intro. It might be
I
the
do.
most exciting thing of the 2 episodes so far.
It works thematically. The show just needs to be, really stronger for it to just really, really hit me.
Mhm. Oh, wow. Hmm.
Hmm. Mhm.
Mm.
That Punisher symbol.
Yep.
That man is gonna have thoughts on that.
I love it.
Nice, nice. Bronx, they got that right. Love it.
Boogie Down Bronx. Mm.
Oh, even Cherry's like, Matt, what do you want, dude? Hmm.
Ooh, it's eating at him.
It's starting.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Foggy reference. Come on, man. Hmm.
Oh yes, I love the song.
Putting back the suit with the amulet. Nice. I like that suit a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like the eyes. The eyes are nice.
Uh-oh. Yep, I knew it was coming.
Oh, that was the decision. That was it.
Punisher.
Ooh, wow.
I like that episode, man.
I have thoughts. Let me stop this. I have thoughts. Let me pull up an image of tonight's episode. All right, I think I found the one. All right, let us talk about Daredevil Born Again, episode 3. So, as we, initially gave our statements that we were concerned,
Mm-hmm.
very understandably concerned going into this episode that it would have similar problems to episode 2, that it just wouldn't land the way it needed to. I agree with you. I liked it. I like this episode. The show, I'm not forgetting about the issues, the obvious flat out issues it has. Very, very, poorly executed in the first 2 episodes, but they're somehow building on the shakiest ground possible, and they're doing what I hoped. They're following through, and they're following through on certain ideas conceptually that I like, and they're seeing them through, and certain things are landing. White Tiger as a character, good character. To have a Puerto Rican superhero mentioning, the Bronx and all that, it directly hit me. And it will hit many Boricuas, which I think is just to have that representation. We don't have that. That's nice. And to have this character, so rooted to the ground, living in the Bronx, he's in the root of the issue. He's just inherently good. He recognizes the issues, and he just wants to do the right thing. And even though he's told, you can't put on the suit again, he did it because it's in his heart that it's the right thing to do, and it is him. And it cost him his life, which, that was the decision that is going to be controversial, that some people are not going to like. And the actor, obviously, rest in peace. The ending did hit different. It did, because we know what happened to him in real life. But to have White Tiger be sort of like a catalyst for a larger arc that I am interested in, the corrupt cops that are using the Punisher symbol to excuse their punishment and their violence and justify all that. The Punisher is going to have a real problem with that. That is not what he stands for. And he's going to show up and he's going to kick some ass. I'm excited to see the Punisher enter the fold. The show is doing what I hoped. It's following through on ideas that I want it to follow through on. I want it to, to marinate and to explore it. And they're starting to do that. And it's giving me hope that shaky ass ground in the first 2 episodes, that you can retroactively make it better. If you just do it down the line, do it in episodes 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. I hope the show has that effect, where by the end of this, we're like, yeah, the show has its issues. I don't love everything that they're doing, but at the end of the day, it did kind of work because they're not leaving every stone unturned. I like this episode. And I like White Tiger's small little arc he had. It's important. And it's also important for Matt, because when I actually really like that scene in the cell where White Tiger's talking about how he can't just drop it. He is who he is, and that resonates with Matt, who gave up being Daredevil, but he's going to put on that suit again because he has a calling just like White Tiger. This is important character development and work that they're doing, which is good. It's good. I am pleasantly I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this is the start of them getting their act together. I'm hopeful. Them mentioning Foggy, I was like, oh man, why you got to do that, man? But he's not being forgotten, even though it's 1 year later. They're having the conversations that need to be had. And it's the start of something. I'm not saying that they're doing a great job right now and it's going to be this way for the rest of the season, but it's the start of them following through on ideas that by the end, I may be like, listen, the show isn't great, but it's solid. It's fine. It's whatever. It's giving me hope. Again, I'm not going to forget about certain issues. Certain issues I still have. Absolutely. I'm not going to forget about them. But this is the start of something. I feel it, and I hope to God it keeps delivering. I would love nothing more for us to start out as like this. Oh God, this is not that good. I was disappointed, but it builds to something where we are, satisfied, and we see a vision, and they revisit things that retroactively make the opening scenes of the season work. I hope. But this was a good episode. I'm happy and I'm relieved to now feel a certain way about it, to feel how certain people are going to feel. It's the start of something special. I hope. I really hope. But definitely a good sign. It's a good sign. It is. I hope they follow through and they continue. They continue with the Punisher corrupt cop arc, which I've always been interested in. I never thought that they would I never thought that they would never get their act together. I just hoped I would see it sooner rather than later, and I'm seeing it now. And I just hope that it continues. I'm relieved it wasn't boring as hell. Yeah, man, this was like a dialogue-driven episode, primarily in the courthouse. But the character of White Tiger, they're doing the proper work. The BB report having the civilians on the street getting their thoughts on things. Again, incredibly ground level. I think it's smart. I think, like I said in the first 2 episodes, there are concepts and ideas that are good. They just need to follow through on them, and we're getting the start of that. So I feel like a sigh of relief that I can go to sleep tonight and be like, this is not a bad episode. This is the start of something good. Let's continue it. Let's hope that by the end of this season that it can be it's not going to be as good as the Netflix show, but something that we're left with that's like, this is enjoyable enough. It's not bad, it's not great, it's just, it's something that we can hold on to and find something in. I wasn't invested in the first 2 episodes, especially not episode 2, because it was shaky ground, shaky, weak execution. But they're attempting to build something on that, like Jenga blocks, and they're starting something. JG, you like this episode?
I did.
What'd you think? Give me what you got.
Okay, so excuse me. I've mentioned before that if you're not going to have action, at least have some dialogue. If you're going to have dialogue, do something with it. And they did. Dialogue driven. They did something with it. It was meaningful dialogue. Some things I didn't see coming was him in the courtroom saying, "Hey, he's White Tiger."
Crazy Hail Mary. Crazy Hail Mary.
I did not see that coming. I kind of thought that the informant guy would kind of turn on him because it was too early to show him. Oh yeah, he's gonna flip, right? But the White Tiger thing shocked me. The camera shots, right? Again, this show does a really good job with these camera shots. The interview with the people, and there's one guy that was saying that, hey, he's Puerto Rican, he's not going to get a fair trial, right? That is so realistic, right? Because where there's a Puerto Rican or it's a black person or whatever, we kind of had that same sentiment where, oh, they're not going to get a fair trial because of this, because of who they are. And I was on pins and needles. Now I kind of figured he would get off, but still, I was kind of on pins and needles. Like, damn, is he going to get off? Right? Because I don't think Murdoch was even sure if he was going to get off. But like he said, hey, I had to do something, right? And the bait and switch earlier, right, where I'm bad with names, but his guy that helps him out. I'm thinking, dang, is the cop going to get him? Bait and switch. He was in a taxi, right? I was like, okay, it's going too well for something not to screw up, right? And it did, but it made for a good episode. It was something else. Even when guy White Tiger was talking about Puerto Rico, I mean, I felt it. Great acting, even for a TV show. Great acting, because I felt every word he was saying. I felt his emotions. I felt when he was on the stand saying, "Hey, it was the right thing to do." Right? White Tiger's who I am. Right? It's kind of like the of course, those who remember Kill Bill 2, when Bill was saying that difference between Superman and every other character is that Clark Kent is his alter ego. Superman is who he is. And I kind of got that from what he was saying. It's like, hey, I can't just give away the suit. I didn't choose it. It chose me. This is who I am. And I felt that. And I enjoyed it. And I'm hoping after this episode, Murdoch will realize, okay, because he even said to him, hey, there's other ways you can be a hero without putting on a mask. And he sees that, hey, that's not always true. He is Daredevil. Yes, you feel like you feel foggy, but Daredevil's who you are. Be that guy. I think we will see him. He might not wear the suit, but we'll start like we see Kingpin kind of going back, Fish going back to the Kingpin form. I think we'll start seeing Murdoch go back into Daredevil form. Slowly but surely, we're going to see it again. There was something else that, of course, the more we talk, more will come to me. Murdoch gave a lot of promises, right? That, hey, it's going to be fine. We're going to get you off. Then he's like, well, man, we might not win this case. I got to do something. And we see him back in the chamber saying, hey, I had to do something. And he promises that, hey, you'll see Puerto Rico again. Oh, and at the end, and when Una Palabra started playing, I'm like, oh my God, please don't kill him. Please don't kill him.
Just had that tone, yeah.
Yeah, and I wish he would have had a better send-off, but I see why they did it. Because the story must go on. One key thing, Washington Heights, I think I've told you before, I spent a lot of summers with my family there. And the 168 subway and all that stuff's like, oh God, that brings back so many freaking memories, right? And it is so New York, so realistic, even the accents and everything. I love it. So yes, this was a huge upgrade from the first 2 episodes. I was not bored 1 second. One other thing, the Foggy reference. Is he dead?
That's the question, my man.
Is Vanessa trying to do her own thing? Because in the comics, Vanessa tries to play Kingpin and Daredevil, and Foggy's alive. She's got a taste of power. She doesn't want to relinquish it. She said in the last episode that, hey, I was basically doing fine till you came back. It's dude, I'm ready. If the next episode is like this, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. To go back to a couple of points you were saying, one of the strengths of Netflix Daredevil was the courtroom scenes, the banter, the art of the game, to try and sway the jury one way or the other, to pull out your Hail Marys like the White Tiger mask. When the oh God, I'm blanking on his name, but
Yeah, I'm
when
bad. I got everybody.
which is not like, you know, if I was incredibly captivated, I would be knowing every character's name. But the guy who was talking to the jury opposite of Matt, and he was like describing the gruesome nature of being run over by a train.
Mhm.
Like that is a very manipulative, smart tactic to sway the jury. And I'm like, this is good. This is displaying aspects of the original show that I want to see in here. So I was like, bravo. Yes, more of this. You were talking about White Tiger, that jail cell scene. It is absolutely, it hit home. We just don't see that. We don't see that a lot. And it did hit to my core, which is kind of crazy. In the first 2 episodes, I felt nothing. And in this 3rd episode, they just give me dialogue that speaks to my core. It's kind of incredible how they can do that. And it gives me hope. You know, Matt holding the you know, his devil horn, and you could see he's contemplating, like, is Daredevil really gone? And again, concepts and ideas that I like thematically. Out of adversity and pain comes triumph and resilience, and like that's a good arc for Matt. I hope they follow through on it. And again, I'm starting to see things that I like, that I hope they deliver on. You know, I was wondering, you know, Matt is going to Frank. He's going to Punisher to do something that he can't. There's like a whole mystery there that they're teasing. And the death of White Tiger is definitely going to have him upset. He's going to feel a certain way about that. He promised him, like you said, you're going to see Puerto Rico again. You know, he hugged him when he was found not guilty. There was a connection there. There was a fundamental understanding of what it means to be a hero, what it means to be someone living on the ground level. And to lose him, it was, you know, I understand people are going to feel a certain way about it. But I felt it to kill him like nothing, like he was just garbage on the street. It's effective. It's effective because that's what Fist thinks of vigilantes. He doesn't care who they are, what they're doing. He wants them gone. He wants the streets to be run his way. So I found the way they killed him like nothing effective. And then you bring up Foggy, which is like, I hope they retroactively make the first 2 episodes better, because that is possible. That has happened in the past. You know, the prequels have made the original trilogy better. You know, that's a thing that can happen. So they keep on bringing up Red Hook. There's something there. In the first episode, there's a conspiracy, Benny, Red Hook, hiding him, this, that. There's something there. Foggy is not, I don't think he's dead. There's something larger at play here that they're slowly setting up, they're building. And I hope by the end of the season that, you know, it lands. It lands. I want to be like, yeah, the way they opened those first 2 episodes, weak execution, they very obviously rushed it. There's no getting around that. Whether you like it or not, they rushed it. They had to. That execution will never be great, but you can make it better by building upon and trying. They're trying to salvage the old footage and the new footage. I could definitely tell that this was purely old footage. In the first 2 episodes, it did not work. But they're starting to build up a larger narrative. They're doing what I hoped. They're following through. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I went into this episode optimistic, concerns naturally, but it did deliver, and it's the start of something good. I'm relieved. I'm relieved that I can go on social media and be like, yeah, guys, this episode, it hit, it delivered. It's the start of something good. Film elitist, this show sucks. I understand it. I understand it. I think I'm not like head over heels, like in love with this show yet. I think people are quick to shrug off concerns. I mean, I've seen it. There's genuine criticism that people are shrugging off by saying just be grateful. That's ridiculous. You have to have standards. That's a whole other conversation about the fandom, but I get it. I get it. It's not firing on all cylinders, but it's for me and for JG, happy to report that it's starting to get somewhere. I had hoped that it would have build up and it start to have payoff, and we're starting that. I'm relieved. I'm really, really relieved. I would hate to do this show weekly and just be like, yeah, mediocre, not landing, not invested in. And I'm glad we have something tangible to hold on to be like, this is promising. I'm not going to forget about, Kirsten McDuffie or Cherry. Kirsten is like right out of the Mark Waid run. I think the characterization, the personality is good, but you have to build upon these characters because I'm gonna, think of them as discount Foggy and Karen. We've heard that I don't even want to get into that. I just hope that they do more with them, because if you don't, that's a flaw. That's an apparent flaw that I'm not going to be able to shrug off. This show is not perfect. It has flaws, but you can have flaws and build something promising and solid out of it. And I hope, week to week, we're starting to just like feel it more and be like, okay, yeah, I am invested in the corrupt cop storyline. I'm invested in what Punisher is going to do. I think that's the start of something really, really cool. Muse, awesome villain from the comics. There's something there. I want them to follow through on that. We've been patient with this show. We've been patient. Which is what we needed to be. We can't outright be, this show is devil incarnate. This show is irredeemable. This show sucks. This show, we stay open, stay optimistic, which is what we've done. And it's just a good feeling to not be entirely alone. I'm going to have more criticism than others, that others are shrugging off, or simply, criticisms that sometimes people don't see. And that's, it's subjective. I get it. It's a whole mixed bag, but I'm relieved. I'm relieved. Best episode out of 3 for sure. Yeah. Daredevil's not even in costume for it. But it's the start. It's the start. Yeah, if we never criticize Marvel, how can they ever improve on their quality of their shows and movies? Yeah, absolutely. Natural, healthy, genuine criticism, which is what we've had, they need to listen to. I've seen other complaints that are not, they're thin as hell. They it's laughable. But the criticisms that we have are genuine. And they're criticisms that could be remedied by the end of the show, by the middle of the show, and we have to be patient. We have to see, I'm open to that, and I hope for that. Some criticisms I don't think, might not be fixed, and they have to listen and they have to do better. They are constricted and restrained by old footage. That is something that's always going to be apparent, but can they make something out of it? In the first 2 episodes, it was rough. It was shaky. It was weak, but I'm hoping that they can build on it and they can give us something satisfying out of it. Our opinion and analysis of the show is nuanced. I like that. I like that we aren't fully glazing and being like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, like a lot of people are, because that's not gonna, that you can't just ignore what's obviously a flaw. And I like that we're not like, oh, this is trash. This is not like a Netflix show. This is irredeemable. This is Disney-fied, whatever. We're breaking it down analytically, and we're offering something more than black or white. I'm happy about that, and I hope it gets better. This is the start of something, and I guess we could say that next week we are looking forward to continuing it and see, that's we're making progress. We're making progress, which is, again, benefit of the doubt, we gave it in those first 2 episodes, and we're not entirely wasting our time here. This is the start of something.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it for the most part, but Matt not being in the suit for like 4 episodes is stupid. I'm sorry. It's, again, benefit of the doubt. I want to see it played out. The rumor is he's not going to get the suit back until episode 5 or 6, which is, it's not that long away, but I get it. Thematically, if they can, have Matt rise from the ashes and they play with that theme, I'm open to it. I'm, themes here in this episode, they're landing. So, it's about execution, man. The initial execution was weak, but now it's starting to come into play. And I hope they carry that and keep that. And it's kind of a good thing that they are dropping episodes 5 and 6 on the same night, because we won't have to wait a week for, like they give us a little tease of the costume and we have to wait a week. I think if the rumors are true, one episode is going to set up the suit and we're going to see like Daredevil back, which is nice. I kind of like the slow burn of Matt becoming Daredevil again, Darth Drip, but I get your perspective, point of view too. Yeah. I totally get your perspective, Hero. I get Darth's perspective. I get it. There's nuance. It's not just one thing or the other. Right now with this episode, with the White Tiger little arc that he had, it makes Matt's slow burn of realizing he needs to be Daredevil again. It's making it better. That's what I hope the show does. Retroactively makes certain flaws better. So by the end of the show, I could be like, yeah, they actually fixed this, or they actually made this better. I can raise it a grade or whatever. Episode 5 is filler, and episode 6 is going to be set up for the Muse fight. Okay, interesting. The way the new showrunners talk about Daredevil gives me hope. Dario, executive producer on The Punisher, him revisiting this character within the show is pretty cool. They say things that they give me hope. It's very promising, and they are restricted by old footage here. So I'm definitely like full steam ahead on season 2, where they're not restrained by old footage, where they can maybe course correct on things, retroactively make things better, have their sort of vision whilst building on stuff they set up in season 1. Season 2 is really like an important chapter in this Daredevil journey. But if they can continue this season 1 journey with White Tiger, what they've started here, it's promising. It's promising. I love the White Tiger stuff in this episode. Yeah, man. And he was killed off so soon. So the fact that they could make me feel something, which is something I failed to have in the first 2 episodes, it's a relief. It's a relief. I just think the whole concept of rebooting Daredevil is so stupid. Yeah, the way they approached it, where they were like, yeah, we're going to bring the actors back and we're just going to play fast and loose with it, is just like, bro, Netflix Daredevil is a masterpiece. Like to treat it like, nothing, or something that you could just play fast and loose with, was like, what? I want to know. I want the names of the people involved in that original iteration, and want to give them some test questions. Besides Deadpool and Wolverine, this is the first MCU project I've watched in a good while. I'm not impressed. Stripped mad of his religion. 3 episodes and 1 shot of him looking towards a church. Yeah, I mean that's fair. One of my criticisms of the show is that because we're restrained to old footage, because the old footage established that the Netflix show wasn't entirely canon, there are holes that maybe they can fix down the line, but right now it's sort of like, where's Sister Maggie? That's his mother. Where is she at?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I would love, the commentary on religion in season 3 of Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil, is so beautiful and so profound and so nuanced, and it's important for Matt to have that. So I hope that this season or the second season doesn't shy away from that. Like, you can talk about, faith and all, but you gotta play into the themes. Really, he is inherently Catholic. He's inherently, religion is inherently a part of his character. You can't just half-ass that. You can't. So I hope they expand upon that. I definitely get where you're coming from, Elitist. I don't think your criticisms are at all out of bounds, or like you're crazy. We're on similar wavelengths. The side characters feel like AI. They're so robotic and nothing. Killing Foggy and pushing Karen out within 8 minutes. Yeah, I know. It was objectively rushed. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to Dario, Benson, and Moorhead, they were given no choice. They had to use this old footage, so they had to make it work. Their version of make it work the best they could, and it was objectively rushed. I thought it was weak execution. I hope they can improve upon it and explain it, and go into the Red Hook mystery. What's going on there? There's a conspiracy there, I feel. So I hope there's something there, because right now it feels like they fridged Foggy. They fridged him. Like Foggy was a 3-dimensional character in the Netflix show. You can't just do that and expect us to be okay with it. I hope, later down the line they can fix that, they can improve that. But right now, we don't have the pleasure of binging all the episodes like some early reviewers did. We naturally have concerns, and we just got to see it play out. And then pushing out Karen within the first 8 minutes. Yeah. I'm a diehard Netflix Daredevil guy, so it definitely rubbed me the wrong way. And then regarding the new characters, Cherry's serviceable. He's fine. Kirsten is out of the Mark Waid run. The personality on point, but 3 episodes in, and we have yet to really get into their characters. Outside of they're there right now to service Matt, to push Matt's story forward. Whereas in the Netflix show, Karen, Foggy, those were Sister Maggie, Father Lantham, Agent Nadim. Man, come on, like all these characters were incredibly well-rounded. And they left no stone unturned. They really explored them to their fullest potential, and it was great. It was incredible. So if they don't do that with Kirsten and Cherry, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it looking at them like discount Foggy and Karen. I still look at them sort of that way. Kirsten, when she's sitting next to Matt in the courtroom, I'm like, man, that's Foggy. Like that's his place. You can keep the new characters around, but you gotta incorporate. You gotta follow through on that. You gotta accept the canon fully, and you gotta, if the Netflix show is as a masterpiece as you claim, Dario, as you claim, Benson and Moorhead, you gotta course correct. You gotta follow through on stuff. And I'm giving them benefit of the doubt. We're giving them the benefit of the doubt. I hope. I'm not a fan of them having less religious elements, especially because that's a big part of his character I could relate to that not many other superheroes have. Yeah, it makes him unique. And it's what they've done with it so far is compelling in the Netflix show. You can't entirely strip them of that. You can't skirt on that. You can't half-ass that. The rumor, I wouldn't even say rumor, the sort of word on the street is that he doesn't really enter a church in this first season, that they kind of like play it fast and loose, which I'm not super a fan of. But again, I want to see the full season. I really want to see it in its entirety to judge it. because this third episode is promising. I have hope. I have hope, which is something that Film Elitist right now doesn't have, and I understand it. I totally understand it. And I hope, I hope all of the I hope all of us that are like we're on the fence about it or not loving it, that by the end of it we can, get something out of it and feel semi-satisfied. At least, 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, hopefully. Like, it doesn't have to be God tier. It's not going to be Netflix Daredevil, but give me something. That was look, even Anzo,
Yep.
who was with us on the first 2 episodes, has turned around like us. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's they're starting something. I'm glad you liked it, Anzo. Good episode, Law and Order. It's the dialogue, it's the courtroom drama, it's the character work that I'm looking for. It's the start of something. This is the problem with modern MCU. It's not what serves the story, it's what serves their vision. And their vision is rarely inspiring or interesting. This is highly watered down Daredevil. It's diluted. It's definitely diluted. It's one of those things where, I know it would be wasting money. I know it's just, it was inherently wrong from the start to keep old footage from an era that wasn't working and trying to stitch it together. But as we see in episode 3, it's starting to culminate. There's something there. So maybe it's just a wait and see on our part. Just let's have patience. Let's see it play out. But it is one of those things where it's like it's objectively restrained by old footage. Where they didn't know what they were doing. They were playing fast and loose. They were, this was a Disney Plus that was just like, Feige wasn't directly supervising it. It's just, it's a tough situation. It really is a tough situation. I shouldn't be on the fence about Daredevil. I should be loving Daredevil, adoring Daredevil. But I get the complaints. I do. I don't think that you're crazy for thinking this way. I get it. Oh wait, you misunderstand me. It's not trash, but it's not good. Okay. Well, not trash it'll work for now. I'm glad that there have to be elements that you looked at that they were like, yeah, okay, not bad. If they expand on it, we may have something here. There's some promise in there. I thought this was supposed to be Daredevil and not Law and Order. This season, this season was just kind of handicapped by old footage. So I'm waiting for the rest of the episodes. It's still the best thing I've seen from Marvel in years. So far, Loki is better.
Definitely better.
X-Men 97 is better. In terms of ranking, I'm gonna wait on that. It's promising. It's promising. I don't want to say anything that's too, it's a slow burn. It has weak execution, but I want to give it its the benefit of the doubt. I want to, I want to continue it. I want to see where it goes. It shows promise. It shows promise, and I hope to God that they keep it that way. Which isn't a super high bar, to be completely fair. MCU is trash these days. Season 2 is going to be the real test of how good this show is going to be. True. You're not restrained by old footage. You have, the new showrunners entirely running their vision. Anything they need to course correct, they can. And if they think that the Netflix Daredevil show is a masterpiece in their eyes, I could see them, move forward with that and hammer that home even more and really embrace the canon. There's room for improvement, definitely. But yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to that second season because you're right. It is a test. It's a test to, it's a test to see what they really got. And also, Dario, he wrote, I think, like 3 episodes. So that's also going to be sort of a tease, a taste of what's to come. I just, we do need to see the full season. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. I want to see it follow through, and I hope it follows through. If only we had Nerdman's take, I could know what to really think about this show. I saw Nerdman in I think it was Anzo's chat. He thinks it's trash. Like he does not like it. Severe downgrade from the Netflix show, I think, is what he believes. So to talk to Nerdman on that will be very interesting. I hope to God that this isn't the case, Anzo. I hope that's not.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either. I just hope this is not.
There'll be him putting on a suit and then it fades to black.
Oh God, that's crazy.
Like that.
That's crazy, dude. That's the penultimate episode. That's the episode before the finale. That's like, come on, man. And it's also one of those things where this season 1 is a part 1 to a 2-parter story, which is like, we know there are recurring characters in season 2. Muse is coming back. Heather Glenn is coming back. So one of my concerns is that we're going to leave this series, this first season, unsatisfied, and we're going to have to wait for the full story in the season 2. Man. I will have thoughts for sure. I will have thoughts. I just hope that's not the case. I'm talking MCU. I haven't seen X-Men 97. What is wrong with you? If you're an X-Men fan, that is a must. Absolute must. That's you're so missing out, dude. I highly encourage it. Thoughts on Philly cheesesteaks?
Love them.
I don't enjoy him as much as Kingpin. That was a weird scene. That was a whack scene. He'll have the suit in episode 7. I mean, again, I could believe it. Next week we enter episode 4. So we get more of Matt sort of, contemplating being Daredevil, him going to Frank, him suiting up by episode 7, which then, the following 2 episodes will sort of give us full Daredevil and the anti-vigilante task force. That I know that's a plot. Yeah, I could believe it. I'm going to try and reserve judgment. I had thoughts with episode 1 and 2. I remain hopeful. This episode 3 luckily delivered, and hopefully it stays that way. I know he will because I've seen screenshots of the suit and it's been confirmed it's from episode 7. Okay.
Well,
that's good to know that, I rather know than be waiting in the dark and be like, okay, when's he put on the suit? I'd rather just know up front. Episode 7, you got episode 7, 8, 9. You got 3 episodes of real Daredevil stuff. It just, episode 4, 5, and 6 have to be, they have to be up to par for us to be okay with that. Like if episode 3 is the start of what they're going to show us in the following episodes, and I'm invested in the story, it will be less of an issue for me. But if I see holes in the story, if I'm missing Daredevil, if I'm not fully invested, I'm going to wonder these things. It's going to be a problem. And they are dropping episode 5 and 6 on the same night, so that does help us, and it gets us further along. So I'm actually glad that they are doing that. But we're gonna see. I'm an X-Men fan. It's just I never fully finished the OG show. It was incredible, and I want to finish that before. Fair. I think it is a show that actually, if you have never finished the OG show, you can walk into 97 and still understand things and still feel emotionally invested, which is not, something that every show can do. It rides the line perfectly. I think, if you're annoyed by waiting, if you don't want to commit to the OG show just yet, you just want to dive into 97, you can. Isn't 5 supposed to be a filler episode? That's what I hear. I don't know. Sometimes filler can be good character work, dialogue driven. Sometimes it could be like, yeah, let's get to the meat and potatoes, bro. Yeah, plus episode 5 is the shortest one. Okay. I would have lost my mind if that was if it was just that episode releasing that day. Yeah. Okay. That's the shortest one. I think 37 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just that as a kid, the Marvel cartoons I primarily watched were Hulk and Spider-Man. You're cultured. Hey, you're cultured. 39. Okay, 39 minutes. Subtract credits, though. What are you looking at? A 36, 37,
36, 37.
Yeah. So we'll see. But it's good. It's good to sort of be on the train and hope it continues along. Overall, this episode was good. It was good. It's following through on things and concepts and ideas that I hoped it would follow through on. It's showing promise. The courtroom stuff with Matt, the White Tiger character work, the start of the corrupt cop Punisher arc is interesting and cool, and I like that. Kingpin he's starting to fall back into his old ways. It's their ideas that are melting together that I'm liking. Foggy, Red Hook, there's something there. I want more. They're laying out ideas that, if you fully execute them or if you nearly execute them, retroactively make what I think are flaws better, fix them. I'm going to be content. I'm going to be semi-satisfied, satisfied. I'm going to be fairly okay with what we got. I'm finding myself invested now, which I wasn't in the initial first 2 episodes. That's always good to actually care about the story. That's important. Moments resonated with me. They're landing. It's good. It's promising. Next week, let's get it, bro. Let's continue it. Those are my thoughts on episode 3. Pleasantly, happy with it. JG, what do you think about episode 3 in its entirety?
It was a night and day compared to episodes 1 and 2. I won't say I was on the edge of my seat, but I was really enthused. Like I said, this was a good episode. Yes, it was Law and Order-ish, but it was a good Law and Order-ish type of episode. Now I know the comments with the whole ending, monologue thing with the lawyers, right? And when Murdoch throws in that monkey wrench with the White Tiger, it threw everyone off. Everyone's thrown off on that. So this is like Murdoch said, hey, I was losing. I had to, like you said, do a Hail Mary, see what happens. So the DA had to do the exact same things. Like, man, well, I got to come up with something myself, right? And so that's very realistic with courtrooms. Not saying I've been in a lot of them, but I'm just saying. Yes, this was a good episode. My question is though, White Tiger's dead, of course. What happens to assuming the medallion?
Good point. I think they are setting up, the female White Tiger, Ava. I think they might because she's the current White Tiger in the comics, and I know a lot of us got introduced to her in like Ultimate Spider-Man, that cartoon that sort of fleshed out a lot of cool Marvel characters, Nova, Luke Cage, aka Power Man, White Tiger, like that. Like a lot of us know White Tiger from that, and I think she has become like a fan favorite to the point where they're gonna like White Tiger is not gonna stop with him. They're gonna pick up the baton and they're gonna give it to Ava, which I'm looking forward to that. I think there's something there. He's dead. Who's there to avenge? Who's there to defend the streets? Who's there to pick up the baton and feel that calling to finish out, Hector's work? There's something there. So I think our question on that will be resolved and could be handled really, really well.
Yeah, because we know that they are trying to implement the Defenders again, right? And so maybe this is their way of slowly reintroducing them to MCU canon. Netflix, they can do anything they want. There's really no restrictions over there, right? So you can see the religious aspect of it, that Disney really doesn't touch religion a whole lot, if at all. It would be nice to see Murdoch go to the church and speak to a priest and do the whole confession thing, right? I thought it would be dope, but I highly doubt we see that at all with this new Daredevil show with Disney Plus. But yeah, this was a good episode overall. I'm hoping next week will be good as well. But one thing, from all these watch parties we've done, when it starts out bad and it gets good, it kind of drops again. Right? That's what I'm fearful of. I love to see Fisk kind of slowly turn back to Kingpin again, right? No, he says, "Hey, I made promises. I have to keep them by any means necessary." We saw in episode 2 with the Philly cheesesteak where, yeah, I'm Fisk, but I can go back to my Kingpin tactics if need be to get something done. And so, with him and Vanessa, that whole situation going on, he's gonna come back. Daredevil, Murdoch, we see kind of, I believe, episode 7 puts a suit on. Something's going to happen in these next 2 episodes where he's like, okay, I'm slowly becoming Daredevil again. And I'm just hoping that it's going to be good from here on out. Because I don't want any more slow burns, boring. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Hopefully this dialogue will be over with by the time I get back. Type of situation. BB, what's going to happen with her character? She'll be caught in the middle or something. But again, I think BB wants to be caught in the middle because episode 2, it was her plan to get in the audience with Fisk, so she can get her thing going. So it's a lot of moving parts that we're starting to see. But like Film Leader said, you have a vision, but can you put in the work to make a good storyline to fit that vision and make it entertaining?
Yeah, I'm with you. I still have my concerns. I'm not like fully immersed and at the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh my God, I love this. This is truly great stuff, but it's promising. It's a start. And that's better than not being invested at all. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. When Norman Osborn showed up in the courtroom and said, I'm something of a scientist myself, my jaw was on the floor. Easily beat the Netflix show right then and there. I was, I didn't think Marvel would go there, but they truly are the shepherds of peak storytelling for sure. Hate to be the one to go there, but it's certainly not helping their rep as focusing diversity. They kill Hector within 3 episodes to be replaced by Niece. Karen gets replaced by Kirsten, Ben with BB, etc. Yeah. Again, the White Tiger death actually worked for me. I'm surprised it did. but yeah, I do get the point that, you know, it's sort of like baton pat. It's kind of like, you know, T'Challa to Shuri. It could kind of be equated to that situation where,
Ugh.
you know, the main hero, or a main hero isn't getting their truly, you know, their time to shine, and you know, multiple appearances and arcs and this kind of thing, and they're sort of just quickly passing it along. Um, but with Ava, I think that she's been the mainstream White Tiger for a little bit now. A lot of people, when they think White Tiger, they do think of her. Like when the details about the show started first coming out, you know, people had to specify that this was the first White Tiger. This was not Ava.
Yeah.
This was Hector. So I get your point, but it's also a thing where they're laying the groundwork for Ava, who's regarded as the, you know, the main White Tiger. I see what they're doing. It can work for me, but I do get your point in terms of, you know, Karen and Kirsten McDuffie. Yes, if Kirsten isn't properly fleshed out, if she's a thin character, then yeah, I'm gonna be like, where's Karen? I'm already feeling that way. Same thing with Cherry and Foggy. Like if you're not fully doing the work, I'm going to not be in love with these characters as I should. Because right now they are discount Foggy, they are discount Karen. And they got to fix that. Ideally, you can have all these characters coexist and you know, have it be one big happy law firm. That'd be awesome. But you know, we're gonna see. I'm mixed on the BB report because it kind of feels like Disney being like, "How do you do, fellow kids?" But I enjoy seeing the people of New York. I get that too. Some of the dialogue isn't like incredibly sharp or well written, but I do like conceptually, you know, people close to the ground. What are their thoughts on, you know, vigilantism? What's going on the streets? You know, right now I'm sort of just like, yeah, I'm with it right now. Not saying there's anything wrong with diversity. It's just weird, the obsession with killing off people to insert poorly written female character, and it's not the people calling it outfall. Regarding Ava, you know, we'll see. Hopefully they do write her well. If Hector is an indication, you know, for us it'll work. But yeah, with like Kirsten and Cherry, 3 episodes in and we haven't really gotten anything with them. They are there purely to move the plot forward for Matt, and they're not bad, but like you basically said, Film Elitis, they're generic, they're serviceable, they're nothing to write home about. I just want these characters to matter to me. BB is no one but a name right now. I agree. Kirsten is a lighthearted character I know nothing about. Who are these people? Yeah, I'm absolutely with you. The personality is on point, you know, from Mark Waid stuff, but yeah, it's like She-Hulk, where you had God, what were their names? That's exactly the point.
Yeah.
Pug was one of them, and I can't even tell you the other one, the female character, but they were there purely to service Jen's story. They were there, thin characterizations, just to move the plot forward, to have fun personalities, and we're supposed to just roll with that and be happy with that. Like, no, especially with Foggy and Karen being as fleshed out and incredible as they were, I'm not going to accept thin characterizations. If Kirsten, if Cherry are not where they need to be, I'm going to consider that a flaw, and I'm going to shout that from the rooftops that you can't just stop at Kirsten being fun, happy, and you got to give me something. There's got to be something there. I also don't understand how the guy is the DA of New York and his argument was not based on motive or evidence. Just good people can do bad things. What the fuck was that? They said he was the butcher of lawyers.
Well, you know, like I said, when Matt threw in that White Tiger thing, everyone was thrown off. The judge, everybody. So I don't think that was going to be his any monologue for that case. I think he had to kind of change up because of that. And so, because he even said, like, you threw in the White Tiger references, like, hey, so what he say to all these people? Good people can do bad things still, right? Which is true. Now, I don't even think he was going to win the case at that point because he went in the back in the chambers. Basically, said he kind of basically said it in a nutshell. Hey, you may have won this battle, but the war's not over with, right? You're going to hurt at the end of all this because of what you just did. So, yeah, while it wasn't the most intriguing way of trying to end it, I can understand why you had to go that route.
Yeah, like the dialogue is not Netflix Daredevil sharp. Like I got the point, but it was like, yeah, you could have written that better. You could have made it more convincing. Like I do get Phil Melita's point.
Yeah.
There's a bit of truth to everything he's saying. In my humble opinion. I like the actor for Cherry, so I really hope he gets fleshed out more, but I low-key want to see Kirsten meet Muse. Yeah, I like the actor for Kirsten. I like the actor for Cherry. You just got to do something with them.
Yeah.
It's just like the bar is so high, and there are things that I'm just not going to accept. A lot of people just want fun. They want serviceable. Like, no, I'm looking for moments like White Tiger. I'm looking for depth. I'm looking for more. Especially when you fridge Foggy, who's returning in season 2. We're going to see, but the way it is right now, it's just like you quote unquote, killed Foggy for replacement Foggy. You wrote out, Karen for discount Karen. Like you expect me to just roll with that and be okay with that? You got to do the work. And so far it's not there. The first episode of Netflix Daredevil has more depth for these characters than anything I've seen for Cherry or Kirsten. So we're gonna see. They, not a perfect show, not firing on all cylinders. They got to work for it. But it's the I guess the story, the story of today, the message of today, the moral of today, promising. I'm happy. As happy as one can be, noticing flaws, but happy nonetheless that I'm not going to be like, oh God, I'm watching a different show. Like, actually, from the reaction I've seen, I am on the same wavelength as people, and that's nice to be like, yeah, I like that element. Yes, I like this character work. I'm with you. Like, it be there. Not feel alone, which was like a feeling seriously bothering me in within the first 2 episodes. It just, there's no world in which I shouldn't be loving this show, or not enjoying it as much as other people. It just feels wrong, and it was really eating at me. But this is the start of something, and let's just see it evolve. That's all we can ask. I agree, those 2 actors are good. The bad acting's from BB and Gandolfini's son. They're like Gen Z characters inserted to connect with the younger audience. I felt that in episode 2 for sure, when they were like speaking about like, I could help you with this demo, and they were talking about like demographic. I was like rolling my eyes, like, yeah, I see what you're doing.
Like, I've never used that ever in my life. Demo. What the heck?
Bro, finish the word, dog. It's demographic. Just finish it. I get that. Gandolfini's legend, bro. So I hope his son has something to work with here. I hope these side characters have more to work with. From what we've been hearing, we might not get that entirely. So, we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, exactly. I hear Gandolfini's character gets better as the season goes along. And that's why I want to be as open and optimistic as I have been since the first episode and the second episode, despite, what we felt about it. I hope. I'm hopeful. Gandolfini's son feels like he was written in purely to create another Trump parallel for Fisk. They're definitely not shying away from allegories and themes. Police brutality and obviously what Mayor Fisk represents, which is what he's always represented in terms of that arc. That type of person. But yeah, we'll see. Rep, yeah. Yeah, you can see it in his face too. He's definitely his father's
Yeah.
son. But yeah, that's been the episode. Promising. Let's see it evolve. Hoping for the best, and this is the start of something. Still have my flaws, but this is the start of something. I want to thank everyone who joined in on the conversation. I appreciate you guys. Film Elitist, Hero Haven, Movie King, Liam, Darth Drip, Darkness. Let's see who else. Big Brow. I think that was it for today. Anthony, of course. Jackson, thank you for popping in. Yeah, I appreciate all of you for joining in the conversation. Film Elitist, it's great to see you, my man. Love to have you around and involved, and always appreciate your commentary, as always. It goes for everyone here. I appreciate you guys continuing the conversation, giving me your opinions and your thoughts, and it helps the discussion. It's not full glaze. It's not full hate. There's something more to be said that we're saying, and I like having these conversations with you. So it's been fun, even last week when we were like cracking up and not fully enjoying ourselves, we still found some enjoyment in that. And here in this episode, we were like pleasantly surprised, and it's the start of something, and we can bond over that, and we can get something out of it, which is just a nice feeling. So but that's been episode 3. JG, where can people find you?
JG Shaolin Terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 Champions of Shaolin. Why? You can catch me live Wednesday nights on the OOC with the host Anzo, aka the Abbott, the Osiris of the She, the Split King, the Professor of Gunja, the wannabe New Yorker, and yes, he uses poison ivy for napkins. And alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Miss 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Going to be Irie, No Trouble, No. Oh, whatever. You know what, dude? I'm so tired. I can't really get everything out.
You can improvise. You can switch it up. You can switch it up.
Switch it out. I'm fine. Yeah. And of course, I was catching with mi hermano de otra madre del principio de Nueva York, Superwise. And my uncle has a YouTube channel as well, the GGC, who is a fellow New Yorker and a fellow Puerto Rican like yourself.
Hey, nice.
We got something going on over there. We're still working on some things, but yeah, we're gonna be doing late night talks and just random things. It's gonna be it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, make sure to drop that link.
I will.
Yeah.
He does. He actually this. Look at this hater right here, fake New Yorker. See, Anzo, the New York hats you wear, you should give it to Superwise. He's a real New Yorker representing real New Yorkers.
Hey, yo.
Anyway,
hey, yo.
He's a fraudulent New Yorker. Superwise is the real deal. Yes, I also catch out Daddy Graham. The Road to Wisdom, always delivering that good message. Please check him out. He's phenomenal what he does.
Awesome. I love it. Keep up the good work, bro. Always a fan. If you ever want to, join in the conversation for a little bit, feel free. You're always welcome here. But yeah, here's hoping episode 4 is good. Y'all have a good night. You have a good night too. We can sleep soundly tonight. That this was not. This was not episodes 1 or 2. This was something. I'm smiling right now. This is good. Let's keep it up. I'm pretty sure I'd even shout out Anzo. Of course, Anzo. Thanks for popping in.
No need.
It kind of lines up with the agenda that you're like, yeah, he's a fake New Yorker. Let's not acknowledge him. I guess I've chosen my side. Hey, that's it. Is what it is. But yeah. Thanks, everyone, for joining. We will see you next week for Daredevil Born Again, episode 4. And until then, guys, take care. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.